liberty of writing down some questions. So let's go over these questions if you would. First of all, welcome again to our show. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. The first question I have for you is charter school. The only thing I can think of with the word charter is like a bus. So do y'all like charter? Do you have school on a bus or a boat? Or what is a charter school?
Charter school. First of all, I want to thank you so much for having me on your show today. I feel honored to be on the Ron Burgundy show. This is a great show. Charter school, for those of you who don't understand charter schools, they're a public school, just like Weatherford, just like Hazel, just like any other school. They're a charter school. Students there take the STAR test, just like students at the other schools take the STAR test. Charter schools are allowed to do things a little bit different, and therefore we only have a 4-hour and 10-minute day. It's a little bit shorter. So a charter school is funded a little bit different. We get our money from the state just a little bit different. So that kind of defines a charter school.
All right. Well, you know, I was doing some research on this school, and I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys, your students, teenagers, only go to school for 4 hours. How? 4 hours? I mean, me, myself, I was like 12 hours at school. Remember, I was homeschooled, so, you know. But 4 hours. How in the world do you do it in 4 hours?
Well, in 4 hours, we have 5 classes. Each class is 45 minutes long, and then we have a real short passing period because we're a small school, things are close by, so we have 2 minutes between classes. So therefore, it doesn't take long to get to every class. And with 5 classes, we're able to combine classes and shorten classes, compress classes. For example, when we take Spanish in a traditional school, traditional high school, you would take Spanish 1A for the fall semester, Spanish 1B for the spring semester. In our school, you take Spanish 1 for the fall semester, and then Spanish 2 in the spring semester. So in 1 year, you get 2 credits, and your Spanish is done, your foreign language is done. So we compress courses, world history, world geography, we compress those courses, so we can get things done twice as fast. So the other thing we do is we combine courses. So if you're a freshman, you're also going to take speech class. So you take English 1 and you take professional communication speech at the same time. So we combine classes and we are able at the end of the year to give 2 credits. Instead of just 1, you would get a traditional school.
Okay, so a little habla español, right?
That's right.
Okay. The only Spanish word I know is bueno, and it's usually taco bueno. About as much Spanish as I know. Okay, so let's get down to the nuts and bolts. The question that all these kids want to know is, are you giving out real diplomas?
Absolutely. We are recognized by CTA as a public school, and so we give the same diploma as traditional schools have, which means that diploma is good with the military. It means the diploma is good when you go to college. It means the diploma is good when you go to the workforce. It is good just as recognized as any other diploma in the state of Texas.
Well, now come on, Mr. Bunny. I mean, look at these kids. I mean, you know, they get a diploma, we'll call it a diploma, and but none of these students or any of your other students in the past ever go to college, right? I mean, this is a charter school. They're 4 hours a day. How can they be prepared to go? I mean, have you had anybody be successful?
We absolutely have. We have several students that have gone to college. We actually have them get scholarships to college. So they are very strong academic students. Our school has prepared students well for college in most cases, and our students have been successful. We've got them go to 2-year college, usually Weatherford, or they'll go to a 4-year college. We have one student graduated a couple of years ago going to University of North Texas right now. Full scholarship. TCU as well. There may be others. Alpine. Ross. The list goes on.
All right. Now look over this bunch of students that we have out here, and they look, I mean, there's some that look pretty athletic. I mean, back in my days, you know, captain of the chess team.
Oh yeah.
A #1 Sudoku player. But PE, I mean, I don't see a gym. I don't see a football field. I mean, what do y'all play dodgeball in the classroom? I mean, how do these kids, they gotta have PE, they gotta have that physical exercise. How do they get that kind of credit?
That's a great question. Some of our courses, in some ways that we're able to get students caught up from behind, if they arrive to us behind, is through a modules class. A modules class is a self-paced class. And so basically we give the students a packet, which could be a PE packet that lines up with the TEKS. That's the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills. That's what's required. TEA requires us to teach. So the packet matches all of those TEKS. The students read the packet, they answer the questions, they do the worksheets or tests, and then they're graded, and they move to the next chapter. They continue doing that until they finish the packet, then they finish the course. It's a self-paced course, so they can finish it in 2 weeks, or it may take them all semester, depending on how fast they work.
A credit in 2 weeks?
If they work hard, they have to work real hard to get it done in 2 weeks.
Wow. Wow. All right, now this one is really important because these kids want to know. I mean, they're only here for 4 hours a day, and that, so, you know, if they miss a day, 2, 54, is that okay? I mean, it's a charter school, for heaven's sake. It's not a real public school.
You know, Mr. Burton, you keep talking like a charter school is kind of less than a traditional school, and I want to tell you that that's not the case. We follow all the same laws, which include attendance laws, as traditional schools do. So the 90% attendance rule that you have over at your traditional schools, whether it be Weatherford, Brock, or Springtown, or whatever schools, the same rule applies here. You have to attend 90% of the days in the semester. Now, I will say that attendance laws also require a minimum of 4 hours to be counted as a full school day. So we go to school the amount, 4 hours, the amount of time that's required by the state. So we satisfy all the attendance laws, including the time frames, as well as the number of days per year.
All right, that's kind of interesting. I didn't know that. All right, another key question is, I don't want to name names, but I hear there's some schools around here that have like 40 kids in a class. 40! I mean, 40 kids in a class. I mean, how big are your classes? Because, I mean, 40 kids in a class, I couldn't deal with that. I mean, how am I going to be able to sit at my computer and play solitaire when there are 40 of them out there talking?
Well, first of all, let me explain our teachers. They teach our kids. They are with our kids and they understand our kids. They're not at their desk playing solitaire. They are teaching and working with our students all the time. And I know that because our class sizes are real small. We only have 10 to 12 kids in a class. We don't have 30, 20, 30. Many schools start off with 25-ish in a high school per class. They don't have 25 in class doesn't make. In a traditional school. In a charter school, though, we're allowed to have much smaller class sizes. And because our students are at risk, it's very valuable information that we have 10 to 12 in a class, and the teachers work with our students to be successful.
And you have real teachers, right? These aren't fake teachers. You didn't find these people at Walmart. I mean, these are real teachers, right? They come from the state, they passed it. These are real teachers.
Yes, they are certified teachers. They're not
Wow. They must really care about their students.
They are special teachers. They do a great job.
All right, since this is a small school, how about those, you know, special events like graduation or prom? Because you know there's sometimes that Mr. Burgundy likes to get his groove on and stuff. So, you know, what about prom? I mean, do you have a prom? Do you have a graduation? I mean, come on, these kids have to know these answers.
We do have some special events, particularly for seniors. We have some things that happen. We have a senior trip that happens. We do have graduation, they walk across the stage. We rent a facility because our facility's not quite big enough, because we invite all of their